Okay, so I know what the title of the video on screen says, but I just want to record this and I want you to comment down your reactions. And then we are going to be watching 15 True Horror Stories animated. Of course, I'm not going to watch it all the way through. And I forgot something. I forgot to, you know what, never mind. If you click the video, then never mind. I'll fix it later. If I was going to hell, I am now.
Okay, I'm down for whatever. Only got juice when that pussy get wetter like weather. She got that wop that'll put you in a stretch. I'm a freak in the sheets, I don't know no better. Hit it from the
Only
back
villain I'd smash. Okay, and so what if I'm simping for My Hero Academia characters? I mean, they're attractive, but I wouldn't. I'd rather smash My Hero Academia guys and girls. I'm not trying to be rude, but a lot of the girls would rather smash guys too, let's be honest. I don't know this anime. And if I do, I forgot. Or the character is not that recognizable. Why does this dude look high in the first picture? That in the window. And of course, YouTube ads, because we want to waste more of your time. Not sponsored. This is just bullcrap. Also sponsored by my popcorn that are days old. But I'm eating it anyway.
I'm an Irish female, and this happened back in
Top of the morning to you, ladies. Also, go watch Free Guy. It has Jacksepticeye in it.
Back then, I loved going to clubs and dancing the night away. One particular
Oh, I'm still that person.
night, I went out with some friends, which included my cousin Frank. We went to a nightclub.
Sweet home Alabama.
One more time, as well as other popular music at the time. I wasn't living in this town at the time, so I arranged to stay at Frank's house. We had the fridge stocked with beer for when we got back and planned on getting wasted. We probably left the club at around 1 a.m.
You were asking for sex.
And got a taxi to his house. Back at Frank's house, we spent a few hours listening to Led Zeppelin, Nirvana with a bit of Metallica thrown in for good measure. My cousin was in a rock band and loved the classics. At around 3 a.m., Frank's bandmate, Jack, called and asked if we could come over and stay. He had been clubbing at a different location and needed somewhere to crash. Frank lived alone in a 3-bedroom house, and being a single guy, he hosted a few wild parties over the years. Frank told him no problem. He can come over, but explained we were having a quiet night. In other words, not to bring anyone else. Jack came over and seemed super friendly. Being the drummer of the band, he looked exactly like what I expected. Long hair, Zeppelin t-shirt, and ripped jeans. His behavior changed not long after arriving. He was super animated. And I don't know, just on a different buzz. He seemed drugged on something.
Yeah, he's on drugs.
Hey, as long as he enjoys himself, who am I to judge? At one stage,
you'll be judging when you find him.
Air drums, and continued with that for ages. During one of the air drum solos, I asked him something, and he didn't answer. I kind of nudged him, very lightly, but just to get his attention. Jack went crazy, and started shouting at me to never interrupt him when he was playing drums.
What the hell?
Drums? Sorry. Did he really think he was playing real ones? Anyway, this pissed me off. I didn't like the aggression. Frank said, "Relax, man. There's no need to shout." Jack replied, "No one should interrupt me when I'm in the zone, man. No one." Me and Frank eye-rolled and carried on chatting, drinking, and ignoring him. The atmosphere changed after that, and after a short time, I went to bed. I don't know how long after, but I was awoken from a deep sleep. I heard this breathing sound in my room. Still in a drunken slumber, it took me a few minutes to register that the noise sounded like someone inhaling. Someone was in my bed, with a bunch of my hair in his hand, sniffing it.
What the hell?
I froze, then said, "What the fuck are you doing?" Jack replied, "Relax. I'm just smelling your hair. I'm not gonna do anything." Well, adrenaline coursed through me, but I was stuck.
You immediately punch him. There's no excuse. Well, unless it was like your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, lover.
lives under a pawn shop and he's black.
Stuck to the bed with fear.
It was just some
the
random
room was
dude.
pitch
You
black.
immediately punch him.
I shouted, "Frank!" at the top of my voice. And in speedy time, he ran in the room, turned on the light, only to find Jack in my bed, holding a handful of my hair. He said, "It's not what it looks like, bud. I was only smelling it. I was sleeping facing the door, so
What
could
the
see
hell?
Frank." I dared not to look behind me to see Jack, but his voice sounded like that of a child that knows he's done something wrong and is about to get in trouble. Frank lost it. Told him to get the fuck downstairs. My cousin apologized
That's right,
and
as you
said
should.
he did not want to kick him out of the house in the drugged up state he was in. The door had no lock, so my cousin slept in a chair in front of my bedroom door. Jack actually tried to come in again.
What the?
I woke to Frank telling him to get the hell back downstairs, or he's going to kick him out of the house. Jack retreated once again. The next day he was gone by the time I woke up. But a few days later, when Frank tracked Jack down, he was told he'd been mixing drugs with alcohol and was embarrassed by his behavior. Even though it's been years since it happened, it still gives me the creeps when I think about it.
And that is why I sleep
Those
next to
sniffing
my bed with a
sounds.
knife.
Big, deep, slow inhales still give me goosebumps. The band broke up not long after that, so I never had to meet him again. I was told he was a
Like,
good guy. So
Where I
he may
live,
have been
we
on
have to
drugs
keep a
that
weapon
made
by
him
our bed
super
because
strange.
break-ins are so bad.
I'm just glad Frank
Not
was
just
there.
with all this COVID
Or
stuff,
who knows how I would have got him out
but
of my
it's
room.
just like, you cannot recognize them with their mask on because of COVID. Like,
I was 10 at the time this happened. This event still gives me the creeps to this day. I had a friend come over for the night at my house. We ate some snacks, watched a movie on Netflix, and basically were having fun. After a few hours, we got bored and decided to do something
oh,
different. My
I
friend
see anime.
suggested that we should take
I'm
two
trying to
of our
recognize the
bikes
name.
and go explore the abandoned house nearby. For your understanding, if we would have walked there, we would have made it around 1 hour to the destination. If we would have taken the bikes, we would have made around 10 minutes. So we grabbed the bikes and rode till we reached the road to the house. We left our bikes at the entrance of the road. The house was on the left side of the road, heavily damaged, old, and creepy. On the right side of the road, there was what looked like a garage, full of what we thought were tools, no car. I agree with my friend that we should explore the house first, then the garage.
okay.
I already thought we should go back home. Right when my friend put his hand on the door, I heard a thud in the distance. It was like someone or something hit a metallic plate with a pipe or a big branch.
That's immediately when you should leave.
I asked my friend, "Did you hear that?" My friend said, "Hear what?" I let it pass. I was thinking probably my brain was tricking me. Plus, I was a bit sleepy. The door to the house was old and creaky. I'll never forget the moment my brain processed the smell coming from the house. It smelled like rotten eggs, alcohol, and old unused meat. At this point, it was pitch black outside. We were using the flashlights from our phones to see in the dark. It was hard to see. My brain was making images that seemed real, but they were not. The atmosphere in the house was like an ancient place, but at the same time, it felt cursed. We saw a kitchen, living room, a bathroom with a purple mattress that covered the entrance of the room, and some stairs that were probably leading to the basement.
You never go down
Not even
there.
a candle was inside. The smell was coming from the kitchen, but also from upstairs. A hallway separated the living room and the kitchen. It was straight and as long as the ground floor. Firstly, we checked the living room because it was nearest us. It was almost connected to the kitchen. We pointed our flashlights at the floor and it was covered by a purple carpet with small black dots on it. There wasn't really anything special
Are
in
you
the
sure
living
there are
room
dots,
except for
not
a
dead
lamp.
bugs?
It had
Nice.
a note on it that said, "I'll be back soon. Prepare the sauce," with a smiley face at the end. The paper looked old, but the ink was fresh. Somehow, we didn't give it much attention. Big mistake.
Yeah,
We
if the
went
ink
to
is
the
fresh,
kitchen,
then
opened the
you...
cupboards, and saw food. Bread, some salad, tomatoes, some kind of meat, what we thought to be steak, and it was bloody. The food seemed fresh, but the smell that got to us was mostly coming from the steak.
Oh, I
We
think
weren't that
that's
scared
not
before,
steak,
but
that's
the
human.
chills sneaked into us. I told my friend that we should return home,
There's a
but he was a
whole
jackass
entire
and wanted
family
to
of
continue.
cannibals
Although I didn't want
just
to explore anymore,
chilling out, like
I didn't have
Alistair
a
from
problem
Hell's
with
gonna
that,
peer
but
up.
two
Like,
particular
let's make
things made me wanna go
jambalaya out
home.
this.
The idea of a crazy and dangerous homeless person that could have lived in there, in the basement. The walls from the start of the basement stairs
That's where
were
they keep
made out
the
of
meat.
concrete and nothing else. My friend was walking toward
Like, you
the
just
basement.
go down there and see
I grabbed him
Alistair
by his
cutting
arm
off
and told
someone's
him I don't want
leg.
to go down there. After 1 minute, I convinced him that we don't need to explore that part of the house, and we moved on. Behind the purple mattress in the bathroom, there were clothes.
And someone had fun.
Instramart is proud to offer highly reliable automation solutions from
Not
key manufacturers
sponsored.
such as
It's just YouTube's
Clothes
bullcrap
thrown
ad.
everywhere. Pants, shirts, hoodies. But the weirdest thing was a bathtub. A mannequin with green dyed hair. I told my friend that we should get the fuck out of here. That's when we heard a scream from outside. A scream that was coming from a man. We both ran to a window to see what was going on.
So now
And
you
what I
freaking
saw
leave?
marked me for life. Outside was a person with a clown mask that was dragging a dead body with him. He was heading for a garage. We both whispered to each other. What should we do? I don't know. I think there were two of them. The other one must be in the garage. As we were talking, the man in the clown mask turned on the lights in the garage. At that point, we could have died of fear. What we saw as tools were actually tools for dismantling a human body. The clown picked up the tool and began to scoop the man's parts out. I almost puked. We called the police
Yeah,
thinking
like all
no
the
one could
fucking
hear
police
us.
dudes seen a
They said to
murder.
stay hidden until they arrived. We ran upstairs with no idea what was waiting for us there.
Another clown.
Upstairs, there were 4 rooms,
4.
a bathroom, and 3 bedrooms. We went into the first one that had a window. After minutes felt like hours, we heard the sirens of the police cars. I was so relieved when something happened.
Man, the chase
We
ain't
heard a
over yet
cracking
until you
voice
outside.
saying, come out, come out. I have many toys you can play with. After that, we heard the door opening. Not from our room, from one of the other 3. My friend tried to open the window quietly, but after one small move, he gave up because it was creaky. At that moment, the guy was knocking on the door. We heard the police say, put your hands in the air. Then an officer kicked down the front door. At the same time, the guy from our door started to scratch the door with something sharp. Then he broke into the room. I had no choice but to try to jump through the old window, which I did. I couldn't feel
World
the pain
Star!
because of the fear. I landed in some bushes, then started to run towards the police car. Then I heard someone running in the back. I looked, and it was the clown that dragged the body. He was faster than me, but the police officer saw him and shot him in his right hand. Then I saw the other clown walking out of the house, cuffed, and with another officer behind him. I was worried sick for my friend. Then my friend walked out of the house with another officer. I was so glad we didn't get harmed. The cuffed clown was sent to prison and got a life sentence for serial murders, selling illegal things, stealing goods from people, and breaking into houses. And yes, the steak we saw was human flesh. I never visited any
It's a
abandoned
good thing you
house
didn't try to
since.
eat that.
When I was in high school, I lived in a small town in the Midwest. I worked at a
Okay, so I haven't paused the video once. 11:21, 14 minutes. This app goes faster than the video, so like and subscribe for more. Yee. Bye.